Hello and welcome to Blinkers Off. It's great to be back for another show. And we've got loads coming up over the course of the half an hour. We're going to preview the Guineas, the Oaks and the QTC Cup. As well, we have interviews with Oaks' favourite trainer, David Van Dyke, where we look at Arabian Gold. We also catch up with the foreman from Phillip Stokes, talk about Hucklebuck. As well, we talk with Tony Pike about his charges, Sacred Star, and in the Oaks, Rock Diva. And as usual, I'm flanked by a big-time footy coach and form analyst, Ben Perkins, news editor Brad Davidson and form analyst and expert Lorena Toulmin. Firstly, Ben, how are you, mate?
I'm really well, and a special hello to all the animal lovers out there, and keep feeding those birds and patting those dogs and cats, because loving animals is one of the greatest things you can do in this world.
Well, there'll be plenty of horses to love on Saturday, Brad. I'm sure we'll find plenty of winners. Unlike Benny last start, Spirit of Boom couldn't win.
Well, I see he's got a different jacket this week. I'm thinking he might be hoping for a bit of a change in luck, because 2 weeks ago it was Melbourne that he tried to put the mocker on, and last week it was Spirit of Boom. And we all seen Spirit of Boom come out and get the chocolates. So, Benny, what are you going to put the mocker on this week? Because I'm backing it.
David Jones shares. All right, Lorena, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. No, I must say form analyst and expert is a bit of a stretch, but I did back a couple of winners on the weekend. I actually tipped them. I forgot to back them, but my friends are very happy at Flemington.
Now, I'm sure you'll have a few winners you got lined up for the winners, but more importantly, what's the latest racing news from around the country?
Well, Jez, Hucklebuck, Strict Candy and Dothraki have all qualified for Eagle Farm's Stradbroke Handicap next weekend. Hucklebuck originally had to win this weekend's Queensland Guineas, but the highly rated 3-year-old has now been guaranteed a start regardless. Tony Gollan is still upbeat that Doomben 10,000 winner Spirit of Boom can win the Stradbroke despite his big impost of 58 kilos. No horse has won the Stradbroke with more than 56 kilos since Rough Habit won 58.5 kilos in 1992. But Tony says records are meant to be broken. Leading Queensland jockey Glenn Collis will be out of action for at least a few weeks after fracturing his tailbone when a horse pinned him up against the barriers at Gold Coast on Tuesday. He was due to ride at Splendora at the Guineas tomorrow and precedence in the Brisbane Cup. In a major boost to Victoria's 3-day Swan Hill Cup Carnival over the Queen's birthday long weekend, last Saturday's listed straight six winner Lonspresso, trained by Darren Weir, will use the $100,000 Golden Topaz next Friday as her final lead-up to the Group 1 Tats Tiara at Eagle Farm. David Hayes, trained Star Fashion, is showing promise for Queensland Oaks after showing good form in Adelaide, and Mark Kavanagh is confident a rejuvenated Supercool can be a force in feature spring races, including the Sportingbet Cox Plate. In international news, connections of recent Group 1 Singapore International Cup winner Dan Excel have confirmed their plans to bring the horse to Australia to contest the Cox Plate during the spring. Sunday night sees the running of the Group 2 Grand Prix Chantilly, a race that provides Caulfield Cup ballot exemption to the winner. Entries include OTI Racing-owned pair Gatewood and Au Revoir, Aidan O'Brien's talented stayer Ernest Hemingway, and French star New We Can. Sunday night also sees running of Group 2 at Tokyo, and this race could produce a couple of Melbourne Cup potentials. Jess.
Well, thank you, Lorena, for that. Now we're going to preview the Queensland Guineas. And Ben, great race, Group 2.
And also, we're back at Eagle Farm, where horses get a much fairer chance to run on. Doomben, it hasn't been playing that fairly. This time we'll get Dothraki going forward, Liberty's Choice will go forward, and they've got good pace. I think that this will allow Hucklebuck and Safeguard to be the two horses that will run on very hard and be hard to beat.
Now we're going to take a look at the Fred Best, where Hucklebuck probably raced up front and was a bit...
shouldn't have been there.
He shouldn't have been there, that's right. But we're going to take a quick look at the Fred Best, and here we are taking a look.
Leads from Havana, Dothraki into the red, coming up wide. Then came Miss Hassan, Safeguard, gets into the clear, starts to run on. Hucklebuck immediately under pressure, grabbed by Dothraki, into the red on the outside, up on the inside Havana, then Miss Hassan and Safeguard. Here's a big finish coming up. Dothraki into the red and Havana. Havana on the inside, snatched the lead, and Havana makes amends for last week. Havana beat into the red, Dothraki.
Yeah, a lot of people bagged Hucklebuck for that run, but I thought it was a very good run considering the circumstances. First way going, that way of going, and big travel, unsuited by the distance, but it's got a troubling barrier, Brad.
Yeah, look, it was definitely a forgive run first up, 13.50 the other way, like you said. He raced a bit fresh, and that's what Phillip Stokes said after the race. So, look, obviously one of the hardest to beat again. I'm actually going to go talking a bit the same as Benny here. Safeguard. I'm happy. I really like the run there down the outside. You had to be on the fence and in the first few that day. He's going to run on. Blinkers go on, which I think is a big plus. He'll be running on hard. Hucklebuck for second, probably the best horse in the race. Dothraki is going to get the perfect run for third. And best roughie in the race, I reckon, Sir Moments. Forgive the last start. Like I said, you could not make ground at all. And it's going to get a perfect run midfield there and could be the surprise.
He could then, Brad. Now we are down during the week. I caught up with the foreman of Philip Stokes and the trainer of Hucklebuck here. Here I am talking with the foreman of Hucklebuck. All right. I'm joined by Philip Stokes, foreman Katie, and welcome to the show, Katie.
Thanks very much, Jesse.
Now you got a lovely horse, Hucklebuck. He galloped absolutely beautifully this morning. How's he been coming along?
Yeah, I'm quite happy with him now. He took a lot out of that race on Saturday, and we'll probably carry on for this Saturday. I'm happy with his gallop. I didn't really let go of him today. We'll do a bit more on Thursday, and then we'll go for Saturday. That should probably leave him spot on his work. So
there was a lot of excuses for him first up, first time going the wrong way, and you know he was first up from travelling.
Yeah.
How's he come along over the last 2 weeks?
Honestly, he is really thriving up here, Brisbane. The weather, the environment, the whole lot. He is really, really very happy with the way he's pulled up. Obviously, he's taken a lot out of that race on Saturday. It was quite a gut buster for him. But like you said, he had a lot of excuses. Like 1350 first up he was always going to be vulnerable. And no, I'm very, very happy with the way he is now. Hopefully, he'll be spot on now for Saturday.
Now you galloped with another one from Adelaide, Stella Lonte?
Yeah, Stella, she's going racing Saturday, and then I think John has planned to go on to the Ipswich Cup and possibly the Clunderate, but she's a talented horse as well, so we kind of got a good idea of where Hucklebuck is at today.
Well, thanks for joining us.
No, thank you. Okay.
It was good catching up there with Katie then. As you saw, Hucklebuck looks in fine form and he worked very good. Righto, straight after the break, we're going to preview the Oaks and watch Arabian Gold and talk with trainer David Van Dyke. Manager of the Magic Millions, Paul Knight. Welcome, Paul.
Jess, lovely to be here, mate. How are you today?
Look, I'm exhausted, but I tell you what, I found a few winners and that's all that counts. But more importantly, we've had the Weanling sale. It's been a great sale. Just tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, mate. The Weanling sale's just concluded, and that we grossed 15.2 million for it. It was up from 8.5 million in 2013, so it's been fantastic. We had a top price of 710,000 for a Lonhro filly from the Snippets family. Another top price of 600,000 for a Fastnet Rock Colt, and that it's been phenomenal. It's been really good. The average is up. Everything's up the whole way through. It's been very buoyant. Great buying market both domestically and from over in Asia, New Zealand, South Africa, and Europe, and that has been very strong. So it's been a great start to the sale so far, Jess.
Now you talk about overseas buyers purchasing these Weanlings. What for?
The New Zealanders taken back for their domestic market over there for their sale. South Africans taken back for their home sale as well, and that's so it's all a different market. We're all on the same breeding hemisphere here in the southern hemisphere, so it's great. They go to different markets and that. So it's a new experience, but the little fellas get to travel around the world. Some of them.
Like you and me, eh? World travellers. Now we've got the yearling sale coming up in a few days. Tell us a bit about it in the catalogue.
Yeah, the yearling sale just starts on the 4th, and that Wednesday the 4th. So it'll be coming up very soon. It runs the 4th, 5th, and 6th. There's 600 yearlings there catalogue, so there'll be something for everyone's pocket in there. Whether you got a few thousand to spend or a few 100,000 to spend, and that there's quality in there, and there's something for everyone's pocket. So if you want to look at the yearling catalogue, just hop online at www.magicmillions.com.au. Go to the online catalogue and you can have a look there, or if you've got an iPad, go to Equine Line, download the app, and away you go and download the catalogue, and it's all there for you, my friends.
Easy as 1, 2, 3. Well, good on you, Paul. Thanks for joining us, and join us next week, mate.
Thanks, Jess. Catch you soon.
We're about to preview the Queensland Oaks and Lorena, just bringing up the prices. Arabian Gold, $2.50 favourite with Bet Easy. Looks to be very hard to beat.
Yeah, I'll definitely be backing Arabian Gold if she can run it. Like after that injury scare on Tuesday this week, if she can run it, she'll win it for sure.
Yeah, just looking at the prices there, you got Arabian Gold $2.50, Catullin at $7, Tinto $7, Rock Diva $11, in from 13s, Paris Match $15, the rest sort of 18s and over. Ben, if you're coming up with one here, have you got a favourite?
Yeah, well, it's not Arabian Gold. I'm taking it on. I've had 2 good wins on it in its last 2 starts. But
why would you be taking it on?
well, I don't think the Eagle Farm. I think Eagle Farm finds out a lot of horses. Right. There's always been a big query about it at the Journey. It's not going to be a wet track, I don't think. Yeah. And I think it's one of these New Zealanders, big rangy New Zealander galloping down the middle of Eagle Farm against that sort of more Arabian Gold style horse. I think Eagle Farm's going to suit a horse like number 16 Sancerre, like the way it got round Ipswich last start. Like it got the race won, but I think Eagle Farm's going to suit it, and around that 20-1 mark, that appeals to me. I thought Paris Match, the Anthony Cummings horse, not a bad run, and Anthony Cummings very astute. I thought it around the $15 mark would be a hope. Put Sister Seuss in as a roughie, 40, 50 to 1 pop for the tricks, and Rock Diva, whom I backed during the week, but it drew gate 23.
Yeah, no, you got the Pikes there. Yeah, Pike. I spoke to Tony Pike during the week down the track, and both those horses, we watched them work. I was with Brad, and geez, they worked well. I was very impressed with the way they did work, and they're going to be hard to beat no matter what. Now, Brad, you were there on the day in Arabian Gold. There was a bit of controversy after she came off the float. She kicked the hoof off the shoe off the hoof. Nail went in the hoof. It looks to have been well. I spoke to David, and a bit of a query there maybe?
Yeah, look, media, it's our job to pump things up in it, so I think it's been a little overplayed. Look, we seen her after the workout, and she seemed fine. Like, she's walking around fine. And
yeah, but she's full of adrenaline then, isn't she? When you're full of adrenaline after it's when you rest down, that's when the pains and stuff come out.
That's what David said, and I caught up with David after the gallop, and this is what David said. Here I am with Track Talk talking with David Van Dyke.
I'm joined by David Van Dyke, and welcome to the show, Dave.
Thank you.
You got the favourite for the Oaks, Arabian Gold. How's she progressing?
Yeah, look, she galloped well this morning. She's recovered okay from her Roses win last start, and she's going well.
Overall, we don't really hear about the pressure that trainers are involved in, and having the favourite for the Oaks, what sort of pressure comes upon you?
A lot more pressure than I said to someone yesterday. I prefer it to have a runner that's sort of $7 or $8 because you're not expected to win, and if you do, it's terrific. But she's even money, so she's meant to win, and there'll be a lot of punters on her, and there'll be a lot of questions asked if she doesn't win. So it's certainly something that I feel, and it's just part of being a trainer, and I guess it's one of the things that go with having a good horse too. I certainly feel for Peter Moody with Black Caviar. It would have been very hard for him with her undefeated in all those starts, and he said on numerous occasions that he really felt the pressure of expectation from the general public, which is fair enough too, because on paper this filly should win on Saturday.
Just her last start, she may, to me anyway, she looked to have just been maybe petering out that last sort of 25. How do you find the 2400 of the Oaks?
Look, her last 3 runs, she's won by 1.3 length. So I think she's a good chaser, and when she gets to the front, she takes her foot off the pedal. And so I don't think it was her getting tired. I think it was her just cruising to the line. She knew she got the job done.
Well, Dave, along comes the pressure, but a lot of interviews, a lot of media, and good luck for Saturday, mate, and I'll be cheering for you.
Thanks, Jace.
Very interesting there talking with David. He's very confident, or he's quietly confident about Arabian Gold. Now, Brad, who do you like in the race?
Yeah, look, I'm sticking with Arabian Gold. Barrier 1's important for me. Obviously, the query is the trip, but if she runs it, she wins. She's just the best horse in the race. Tinto for second, picks itself. Was actually taking ground off Tinto at the end there. Arabian Gold there at the end. Sorry, Rock Diva was keen before the barrier, and Terai and Sister Seuss the best roughies in the race.
All right, now just on mentioning that, we're going to take a look at the Roses, which Arabian Gold won last start. Here we are with Arabian Gold winning the Roses.
Chop chop, here comes the pumper on Hera, and Arabian Gold about a length behind it. Tornado Miss still in front in the straight from Navalina, Asada Skyate, Hera, and here's Arabian Gold. She's coming to their one, then came Tiddo, but with 100 metres left to go, Arabian Gold swept to the lead, cleared away. If you're on the favourite, into the queue for you. Arabian Gold first. Tiddo's.
Yeah, Brad, what do you think of the run?
Yeah, look, it was the only horse on that day that come from further back than fourth to win, so that adds a lot of merit to the win there.
Yeah, but you're forgetting one other big thing is very few horses who win that race go on and win the Oaks. So put that in your pipe.
Oh, and smoke it.
No,
Lorena?
don't smoke. Don't smoke, children. Very bad for you.
Now, Lorena, who do you like?
Also, well, obviously Arabian Gold, but Cutilin. I hope I'm saying the name right. That's where my expertise comes into play. In very good form, ran second to Derby Hopeful Sontag at Caulfield at its last start. But unfortunately it's drawn barrier 22, which isn't so helpful.
Could be. Right now we're going to go with On Track with Grant Morgan. And welcome to our On Track segment, and I'm joined by form analyst Grant Morgan. Welcome, Grant.
Great to be back, Jess.
Now last week you've got a horse to follow, Sacred Star. It's in. It looks to be very hard to beat.
Yeah, he's in the last race on Saturday at Eagle Farm, Jess, as we suspected in the QTC Cup, and he's been very well supported in the Stradbroke market, so he has to win, I think, on Saturday to get into the Stradbroke. I think he'll be very hard to beat.
Now, coming up, you got a horse to follow?
Yeah, we've tried to find another horse to follow, like Sacred Star, for our punters to follow in weeks to come. Come up with another visitor, Jess, lots of visitors during the Winter Carnival, of course, and this one we have is from the Paul Massari yard, Lime Hills. He's a 2-year-old son of Redout's Choice. He was very impressive at Doomben on Tuesday, winning his trial with Jim Byrne in the saddle. He's only raced the once, was second at Canterbury. Very good looking horse, $320,000 yearling. He should get some travelling money for the stable. Wasn't cheap, but I think he'll be winning when he produces him in the next few weeks.
Now, more importantly, what the punters want to know, the best bet on the program. Can you steer us into a winner?
Very confident this week, Jess. We're going to go with the Kelso Wood. Very confident.
Oh, that's what I like to hear.
Kelso Wood is a very, very good trainer of young horses. In the 2-year-old race on Saturday, he produces Elitist. She was third last start at listed level. Chris Muntz got a great association with the stable and for the connections with Lee Matthews and David Devine and all the crew, Nev Morgan. All the girls own this one. So Elitist, the Stratum filly from the Kelso Wood stable, we expect to get us off to a good start at race 2, number 11, Elitist, Jess.
All right, that's very good. Now, number 2, Elitist. I'll have something each way, and I'll tell you, if I don't win or I don't find something in my Sky Rocket...
Which way? Straight out.
Straight out?
It'll be winning.
All right, it'll be winning. If it doesn't, we might not be seeing you next week. All right, lock the doors, sit back. We've got plenty more coming up. It's Sports Talk right after the break. All right, it's that time of the show where it's Sports Talk. We're going to take a look at a few prices across the board, both in AFL and NRL. Firstly, AFL prices are up. Lorena, you're a Geelong girl, but firstly, let's just take a look at a few prices across the board.
Yes. Well, I'm pretty much following BetEasy's lead this weekend. I mean, look at Collingwood's at $1 to $10 for St Kilda. And Carlton, I'll definitely pick them over Brisbane and also Essendon over Richmond. But how do you think your team will go this weekend?
Well, Lorena, as always, I think the Pies will win. I think Port Adelaide will win the flag at this stage, after watching them. But firstly, regardless of that, we're going to preview the Crows and the Suns. Righto, Brad, you get down, you talk to a few of the Suns players. How do you see the game panning out?
I think they're the value for this week, Jess. $2.21 for a team that's won 5 on the trot. Come on, they're flying. The way they disposed of the Bullies last week, obviously a bit of a slow start and the Bullies stayed with them, but that second half was very good football, and Adelaide aren't exactly flying at the moment.
No, they're not, but I tell you, Suns, the thing with the Suns, they're playing good footy. They've got a hard run coming up. They've got Hawthorn, Port, Collingwood,
Geelong.
I mean,
They've got a tough 5-6 weeks
That'll
coming
sort them
up.
out. That's going to sort the boys from the men out.
That's why it's even more important to beat Adelaide this weekend, and I think they will. And the $2.21 is good value.
Adelaide, Ben, 220.
The most important thing about this match is that the Suns play in front of a hostile crowd. It'll be like a finals atmosphere for them, and they're going to really grow from this match. It's a really important game for their development.
Righto, Tigers, Bombers is the next game we're looking at. Ben, your beloved Tigers, huh?
My beloved Tigers?
You've been talking about them a lot.
Well,
you're mates with Mark Williams. Come on.
Well, I have given them some couple of tips during the week.
And run off after the half time?
I'll tell you what's going to happen. What's most important for Richmond now is that they keep winning so they can live with themselves after losing on Tom Hafey Day. That is the only redemption that they can actually gain now, so they can look back in 20 years and not want to jump off a cliff. They can overrun Essendon. I expect Richmond to win this game by being too fast for the Bombers, because the Bombers, they're playing Hurley out of position. To me, they're a bit of a mismatch, but I am a little bit worried because Bomber Thompson said on TV that he's got big plans for this weekend, and I respect him, but I think Richmond might be able to do it.
You like Richmond?
I'll tell you right now, if you're a Richmond supporter, I feel sorry for you. I mean, there's not a team in the AFL that are the bigger letdown than they are. Who knows what they're going to bring? Who absolutely knows? And for that reason, I'm going Essendon.
Okay, we're going to take a look at the NRL prices for round 12 coming up on screen now. But firstly, the game I like, the Cowboys and the Storm, as you can see there. Cowboys $1.75, Storm $2.10, Penrith $1.60, Parra $2.36, the Roosters $1.18, look to be a good bet. Storm $2.10 is great value, Warriors $1.44, will win, Manly $1.70. Home and away against Brisbane, South $1.25 against the Saints. Saints have a new coach coming and look to have Bellamy and Bennett in the mix there for their new coach for 2015. Now the game we're going to preview are the Cowboys and the Storm. All right, here we got the Storm at 2.10. I think that represents great value. We've got Thurston, Scott, Tate, and James Tamu. They're classified as in, but they've had a massive game in Origin. I just don't think they'll be able to back up. And the Storm, funnily enough, have a fantastic record up at North Queensland. So I'm tipping the Storm at 2.10 with Bet Easy, great value. The other game we're going to look at are Broncos versus Manly up here at Brisbane. Look, again here, you've got a number of Origin players that are in for the Broncos, but again, they're going to be battered after a thumper game in the Origin series. You've got Hodge, Parker, Thaiday and Gillette. They're going to be sore, they're going to be tired. Manly have two massive ins, Ferran and Lyon back in. They've got a fantastic record against the Broncos over the last 7 years, and I think the $1.70, it represents not too bad value with Bet Easy, and I've got the Sea Eagles on top. Now we're going to take a look at the last race of the day. Brad, have you come up with one? I've got a special here.
I know you do, and I'm with you, Jess. Bonetta, I think that's how you say it. There you
That's
go, got it right. Bonetta, look, happy to put her on top. Draws the right gate here. Drops a fair bit of weight from the all-age, obviously, and I think with that bit of freshness in, it's going to be hard to beat. Sacred Star for a second. We all know trialled super last week against Adavisi. Beat him quite comfortably, so the X Factor, I suppose. Hot Schnitzel for third, dropping class, and Dances on Stars for fourth.
Benny?
I've gone Dances on Stars. Gerald Ryan's going super well. This horse proven over the 1,300 metres, really travelling into the run. Should sit about 7th and come home hard. Sacred Star, big query about this horse. You've got to put it in your quaddies. Bonetta, the improving track, the big track will certainly suit it. And Beltone, Kelso Woods horse, very honest galloper. I'm going to box up those horses and collect.
Yeah, I think you will be collecting. All right, now during the week I caught up with Tony Pike, and here we are talking and having a look at Rock Diva and Sancia Gallop.
I'm joined by New Zealand trainer Tony Pike with two lovely chances, Sancia and Rock Diva in the Oaks. And Tony, welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning. Lovely morning here in Brisbane.
Now you've got two lovely horses we just seen work on screen here, Sancia and Rock Diva. How do you fancy their chances?
Oh look, I think they're both solid each way chances. The favourite Arabian Gold's obviously the one to beat. She deserves to be an even money favourite. She's been very dominant, but look, Sancerre, she's progressive. She's on the way up, and she's peaking at the right time, and she'll definitely get the 1.5 miles. So, you know, she's a good chance, but she's obviously got a big jump in class as well. Rock Diva, she's proven at the 1.5 miles, and she'll improve a lot off her run in the Roses. She hit the line strongly off a very much leader's bias, and yeah, look, second up into the Oaks, she'll get the 1.5 miles, and she'll be hitting the line strongly.
Now, out of the two, who would you favour?
Oh, look, it's hard to probably get a line on them. Rock Divas, she's proven. She's already a Group 2 winner back in New Zealand, and she ran third in the New Zealand Oaks. So she's got the runs on the board, whereas the other filly, she's been dominant here in her 2 wins, and she's just improving, and she's progressive. So it'll be interesting to see how they match up on Saturday.
Well, thanks, Tony, and good luck.
Thank you.
Righto, there you see it. Rock Diva worked very well. Ben, your best bet on the day?
Is race 2, Elitist. I snaffled up $3.60 as soon as the prices went up. Very keen, Elitist.
Ben, Brad, your best bet?
We got Spirit of Boom home last week, so look, we're going to go El Mantosh and the Spear Chief each way.
And Lorena, your best on the day?
On the day, well, I might be playing it safe, but in the Oaks, I'm still sticking with Arabian Gold.
Yeah, no, wise decision there. Listening to Van Dyke, she will be very hard to beat. My best is Bonetta with Sacred Star in Quinella, guaranteed to collect. Well, that's all we have for you tonight. Thanks for joining us, and join us same place, same time. Bye for now.